We are live now, as we are here for a very special episode of the Comic Den. I'm trying to pull up the chat thingy, but awesome to see some people here. We got CEO Star Wars Non-Toxic Alliance, aka Taco Cat. Thank you for coming in, as well as Steve number 2. And as you can tell, it's more than just me and Steve today, as we're joined by Chris, a fellow Red Shirt over from Red Shirts Remastered. Today we're doing a special charity episode because Friday was Rare Disease Day. Chris will be speaking a bit on that stuff in a moment. But in addition to talk about what exactly Rare Disease Day and why that's important to Chris and just everyone over at the Red Shirts, we also figured it'd be fitting to talk about an X-Men story. So we're going to be talking about X-Men God Loves, Man Kills. And so, anyway, with that, let's hit the intro and get into it.
Welcome to the Dingus Den.
All right. Well, yeah, we're live for a special charity episode. Let me bring the screen up here, so you can talk a little bit about exactly what this charity is. We'll be mentioning this a few times throughout the episode, as it is actually this Comic Den episode kicks off today's last main day, unless. I mean, maybe we'll do some tomorrow, but
maybe it depends.
maybe,
Like
it depends.
Depends on how we feel. Depends on how
Sure.
much money we.
This
raise,
is the last planned day, let's say.
Yeah.
Of the special streamathon that's been going on this weekend over at Red Shirts Remastered, and we can see. Let me pull it up here on the screen.
We're so close too. It's crazy. I did not expect to wake up and be like $6 from the goal.
Let's see.
Nice.
Where is?
I mean, last night we were like $60, $55 from the goal, and then we woke up and I woke up and LG had made her donation.
Yes,
and,
yes.
We're close. So
Matthew Coburn is in the chat.
Yes. What's up, Matthew?
What's up, Matthew?
And so, yeah, Matthew's been helping holding it down over there. And so, but yeah, speak on exactly what this is, Chris. Is you're the one.
First of all, Spencer said February 28th was Rare Disease Day. It's every year on the last day of February. So on leap years, it is February 29th. And, millions of people have rare conditions and diseases, and I have one that's called familial Mediterranean fever. It's an autoinflammatory condition, not to be mistaken with autoimmune. They're called autoinflammatory diseases. Familial Mediterranean fever is the most common of these rare conditions. And I work with an organization called FMF and AID Global. Have been working with them for the past 4.5 years now. Helping them with fundraising, planning, getting them, future-proofed, things like that. We raise money every 6 months. In September, it's World Autoinflammatory Awareness Month, so we'll be doing it again in September, and then in February again. Might change it up a little bit, just to, people getting fundraising fatigue. I understand that with the economy and everything, but appreciate everybody who has donated so far. It's incredible that we're only, like $6 away from our goal. This
awesome.
is just the beginning of the last day of the streamathon. Now the fundraiser does go through the end of this week coming up, just because, we always like to make sure that if people aren't able to make it to the streamathon, they still have a couple extra days to, if they're watching it on the replay and stuff like that, to donate. So definitely get this link out there. I'm pretty sure Spencer pinned it.
Yes, it is pinned.
Yep,
so be sure.
Pinned. So,
and we'll be referring back to this throughout a couple other points in the stream at least. So
yeah. And then after this, all of us will move on over to, and maybe Steve will join us. I don't know what he's doing today. To Red Shirts Remastered and continue the festivities over there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the biggest important thing here, even if you can't donate, just be sure to share that around,
Yes.
as awareness is very important. And let's go on to our regularly scheduled.
Well, you know what? Let me bring one more thing up, actually,
sure.
because what's really important too is for Red Shirts. Why this is also so important is a friend of ours, Frank, who
It's true.
had it's hard to say, had a rare disease called Danon's disease and passed away the day after Thanksgiving from only 23 years old. So this is a cause that's personal to all the Red Shirts, not just because I have a rare condition, but because we have a close friend that was affected by it. And we actually had an opportunity to speak to his mom on Friday night. So that'll be releasing as a video tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
and we have other interviews that have been releasing throughout the week.
Yeah, there's been some really, really crazy ones. I mean, craziest one is like you really did begin with the craziest one at the beginning. Well, I think you could speak the best on it, but what was it? Mother and her son that fled from Ukraine.
Yeah, fled from Ukraine, are in Budapest right now. The son is 35 years old. Has had 2 strokes. Basically because of the strokes, reverted back to basically being like a 5-year-old. Also has an autoinflammatory disease. Is being denied medicine for multiple reasons. Companies are saying that they're not in a hard enough situation. They don't have the rights that a Hungarian citizen would have. Things like that. So it's very tough. So this is a big reason we do this. And we talked to all kinds of people in the United States and UK, and everyone has different experiences, but it's all the same kind of battle.
Yeah, it's a wild story, and I was listening to that, and I was just like, wow, it's deep. So, but yeah, so be sure at the very least, please share on that link, and if you have an extra $1 or $2, please do donate, as that is very important to all of us here.
Yeah.
All right. Now for some regularly scheduled programming, as we have. Well, first off, other than our main read, anything else that like just in general any of us have really read this last week?
I read a collection called Avengers Twilight.
I've wanted to read that.
That was written by Chip Zdarsky. And it is quite interesting. I liked that. It's set in a weird future, like a dystopian type future. At the beginning, Captain America does not have his powers, so he's just Steve. And it's ironically, it's Tony Stark's son who is one of the main antagonists.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've wanted to read that one. I haven't yet, but
I'd say it's worth a read.
Yeah, I've heard it's interesting. I want to. It's on my very long list of things to read that seems to only grow.
Yeah. And then other than that, other than a bunch of single issues that I've been getting caught up on, I actually read for the first time volume 1 of Berserker.
Oh,
nice.
And I quite enjoyed that. I will probably be reading some more of that.
Was it breathtaking?
Breathtaking.
No, you're breathtaking. Does Steve get that joke?
I
don't know if Steve will get that joke.
I guess I don't get that joke.
No, so when Cyberpunk 2077 was announced, and at E3, Keanu Reeves came out and someone yelled to him, "You're breathtaking!" And he goes, "No, you're breathtaking." And it's been a running joke ever since for Keanu Reeves.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Patrick gets it. No, you're breathtaking.
Yeah.
I've actually been playing that game.
A fantastic game. I need to get back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've considered
Well-
I'm gonna just buy it again on PC next.
That's
time
what I'm
on
thinking
sale.
too for myself, because first person shooter, keyboard and mouse. Although it might work keyboard and mouse on Xbox.
Mm.
Yeah, I like it. I just recently bought the
DLC.
the DLC.
Nice. Idris Elba.
It's awesome. Yeah, it seems really. I've heard really good things about that, so that's awesome.
But Berserker.
Yeah, Berserker. That's cool. I know that's one of those
Berserker.
comics we talked about maybe doing an episode of one day. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, so I'll probably read some more of it.
nice. Yeah, it's interesting because they're doing a bunch of spin-off stuff with it now, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I think I did get a one shot of it or something. I don't remember, but yeah. All right. That's cool. I recently mainly this is one of my busier weeks, so I don't get to read as much as I really like to.
Yeah, I didn't
But-
read a whole lot either.
But I did read or finish reading that big Black Panther omnibus that I don't remember if I've shown here before or not, but the one that is I guess the first half, I think, of Christopher Priest's Black Panther run, and so that was pretty good. And so definitely looking forward to getting volume 2 of that someday. That was really good. That's added. I now have a stack of stuff to get signed for next week, which is why there is no Comic Den next week, as I will be at this time busy over at a convention. So
Not allowed. We have to do one.
I know, terrible, right?
Terrible.
Terrible. I might try to put out some sort of special video or something, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I'll just do it myself. I'm kidding.
Just do it myself. Or fine, I'll do it myself.
I do it by myself. I won't. No.
But yeah, that's the main thing. I did start as it's something I am going to finish reading before then. Is I'd started reading Superman Birthright.
Ooh.
Yeah, that
That's a
first
good
issue.
one.
That first issue was really good, so I'll be definitely reading more of that. But just haven't had the time to really read much more of it yet. So, and
That's
then for both me and Chris, what we read last week was we read the first 3 issues of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, in addition
Yeah.
to the first, what was it called? Micro
series.
the
Micro
micro
series.
series, one issue micro series one shot that they did with Raphael, and so
and
first
Casey
4,
Jones.
the debut of Casey Jones in that. So we talked about classic Turtle stuff, which is really cool. So be sure to check out our Shell
Speaking of
Talk series.
Turtles, did we talk about the live action movie coming out or
I mean-
in development last week?
No, that's been around though. I'm looking
Okay.
forward to
It
to
just
seeing.
recently seems like it hit the trades again, I think, is why he's bringing it up. Because I've
Okay.
seen news about it, and I'm like, they already announced that.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was weird. But I think, yeah, you've seen it recently in the
Yeah, it just came
on
across
social.
my.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I thought I saw something like, we already knew about that. Because they're doing a game as well.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how the game turns out. Well,
Well, yeah, because Turtles is more fun as a team game, Like,
Well-
so, although,
it's not that. It's more of just what do you want to say? The stuff going on with the studio management over there.
true,
There's a bunch
but
of stuff.
has there really ever been a bad Turtles game? Like, even the average ones aren't bad.
I
Well,
mean, there's been a
that's what
bad Turtles movie. But
It's different, But yeah, Michael Bay.
Anything could happen. So we'll see.
Michael Bay movies were awful. The last
one-
good Turtles movie was the one in 2007.
the one with Vanilla Ice was horrible.
What? Get the fuck out of here.
No,
I don't know. You're not my friend anymore, Steve.
It was horrible.
I'm gonna tell your son I disown you as a friend. He's like, oh well.
That's
Man, Go Ninja,
No.
Go Ninja Go was a
no
big part of my childhood.
No,
God damn it.
that movie was horrible.
And then the third one was amazing as well. Ohio wasabi. Hello, mustard. So my Japanese is a little rusty.
So here's the question. What was your thought on the recent animated movie?
So,
okay.
for me, there's stuff in it that I didn't necessarily like, and then after going back and reading the original comics, I'm realizing, well, this stuff is kind of like closer to the original comics than the depictions. So I want to revisit it now that I've, because at first I was like, this is just fine. I wasn't a big fan of some of what I thought were changes, and not really realizing that may actually be closer to the source material than I thought.
Yeah, like what's crazy is we're so used to certain characters a certain way from the cartoon. When, like Spencer said, we've been reading the original comics, and they're closer, a lot of them, to the. Especially because when you first meet them, they're younger. I mean, so like this newer movie has them younger, which is good. April is more of a techie instead of a ditzy reporter, which is what she apparently was. She worked for Baxter Stockman. Originally. So it's like, Spencer's right. I didn't hate the movie watching it. Everybody was like, oh, before going in, and like the internet does these days, judge a book by its cover.
Right.
And no, but it wasn't bad. It had fun characters. The animation was cool. I liked the animation.
Sure.
And the voice actors did a good job.
Yeah.
Did
I
they?
agree.
Yeah, I need to watch it again. I saw it in the theater, and I kind of remember not liking it, but I don't remember why now. So I've got to go and reread it, or rewatch it rather.
Yeah. It's on my thing. I think eventually in Shell Talk we will get to talk about some of that other stuff as well. There is a plethora of Turtles material. They've been around since, what was it, the 80s, right?
80s, yep.
Oh yeah,
80s when it came
83?
out. 83, yeah. So,
yeah.
Was it that old?
Yeah. The stories in that original Eastman and Laird collection of them coming up with the first comics is wild.
Oh yeah,
so cool.
I remember reading the first issue in black and white. But I didn't realize that it was 1983. I probably didn't read it until later 80s.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it's like lots of inspirations from street level characters, which is really cool.
Yeah. Because right about the same time, there was a similar one about hamsters. Radioactive.
Wait. Whoa. Hold on. Find this for us so that because we side episode of Shell Talk. We call it.
Okay, here it is. Adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters.
What? Oh my god. Adolescent there it is. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
The Wikipedia link.
Oh my
hold on, let me
get
this.
Bruce, Chuck, Clint, and Jackie were their names. Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that one of them's a gun nut rather than a ninja. My gosh. Look, one of them has a bow, so it's Donnie, and ace mechanic and inventor. It's Donatello. One of them is a quasi-pacifist who has nunchucks and can still kick butt. The other one's a gun nut.
Oh my god.
Who blew up the Statue of Liberty and got the hamsters temporarily thrown into prison. He's got a punk mohawk and Cyclops-style shades. And then there's the youngest, Jackie, who's skilled in hand-to-hand combat. And Clyde, he's reading Dr. Seuss, playing with action figures, fantasizing that he is Indiana Jones, Snoopy as the Red Baron. What?
Yeah, I remember.
Whoa!
Because I saw them in the same.
Oh my gosh! It was revived in the 21st century. The original quartet were joined by a new generation of hamsters. Lucy, named after Lucy Lawless. Rock, named after The Rock. Arnold, named after Schwarzenegger, and Jean-Claude, named after Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Steven after Seagal.
Interesting. Yeah.
This is
You'll
insane.
learn something new every day, huh?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Hilarious that it looks
yeah,
like it was originally
yeah.
published by Parody Press. Well, no, you also have Eclipse Comics here. But some of these I'm seeing this Parody
What's
Press
the new one? Type in the one that says for like 21st century one.
Well, you know, if you go here, it'll probably tell you.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Well, never mind. There's not much here about it.
I love
yeah,
how
no,
you
what I
just
was-
had
what I
your
was
mouse
saying-
hovering over Jean-Claude Van Damme right there, though. That was great.
But I
let's see if
remember
I can
seeing
find
that.
it.
I remember seeing it about the same time I saw the Turtles, and I was like, okay, well, they're doing this, okay.
Between January and June 2008.
It might be this one right here I'm looking at.
Yep, that's it. January 2008 publication date. So, and it was a 4-part miniseries that includes the original hamsters and the new ones. We should definitely do something on the miniseries. I'm down.
We'll get this at some point.
This will be like a turtle side series, you know, like Shell Talk Hamster Edition.
The hamster wheel.
Yeah, the hamster wheel. Yes. Or we just start a show about comics about anthropomorphic creatures.
For anybody that has Kindle Unlimited, you can read this for one of them for free at least, which means no cost for me at least to read this, which is fine.
There you go.
Yeah, it collects all 4 issues of it here. So there we go.
Oh
The
yeah.
Dynamite collection there. My God. You know, I'm. Oh my God! All right, what the people say here is we went off on a huge side tangent.
Yeah.
We did go off on a tangent there. Yeah.
Huge tangent.
Pat saying that the 80s, 2003, and 2012 is his favorite version of the Turtles. And then Matthew is saying the Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, and Jackie Chan. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I've never heard of this either. You know, you learn something new every day, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm all for it. I am all for Bruce, Chuck, Clint, and Jackie. Jackie Chan, Clint Eastwood, Chuck Norris, and Bruce Lee.
These guys are a hamster full.
Ah!
That's what Matthew in the chat said.
Oh, Matthew.
That's funny. Wow.
Oh boy.
Oh my
Let's
God.
see. Did you say that is the first volume on Comixology?
It's on Kindle Unlimited. I'm not sure if that stuff is already part of Comixology or not, since that's 2 different services, both owned by Amazon now.
I'm about to find out.
Dun dun dun.
Adolescent radioactive black belt hamster. It
I
is.
would assume-
Oh wait a minute. That's the new one.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
is the old one on there? God dang it! It's
Yeah.
not. That's a bunch of horse crap. I mean, not for
More on
free.
that later today. Says
No.
Matthew.
Okay, well, dang it. I wanted to read the old one.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way you can digitally read. Well, we'll have to dive into that. Anyway, stay tuned for possible here on the Dingus Den, apparently. Anyway,
Oh my
to our back to other stuff and things. The
What? We're
poll-
not just going to spend the rest of the night talking about hamsters.
I know, right? You know, we have to at least get in something about X-Men at some point. You know, as we're
All right.
I suppose.
talk about.
I mean, I am dressed for the occasion.
There you go.
Yeah, you
There
are.
you go.
Yeah, see, I'm wearing my
There you
FFAID
go.
Global Association Zazzle store shirt that you can go check out the Zazzle store too, and it says I have FMF. What's your superpower?
There you go.
Because I'm literally a mutant. My
Yes,
DNA
yes.
is mutated.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm just weird.
Well, I'm weird too.
Matthew says a bit G-Force movie. G-Force.
We should get they should do a movie that's a Turtles hamster team up.
Yeah, hell yeah.
There we go. That's
Let's
what needs
go.
to happen. Turtles and
Mutant
ham.
Mayhem 2.
Give us some hamsters.
Hamsters in Harlem.
Well, you know what would be great is, I was reading about it being from Parody Press maybe originally, or one of them. It'd be funny though if there's at one point during the movie where there's like a group of 4 hamsters that looks up and says, "I want to be like them," as they watch the turtles go off and do action. Just to see what's up like that. That would be a great reference there.
Yeah, it would.
Just something so obscure. Anyway, all right, let's get back to where we're talking about here. We have a very short pull list week for both me and Steve. As the only thing on mine is
It'll show for him soon. It'll show. Sorry. Wow.
It's a
True. You're gonna be
he's gonna be
You're
subscribing.
gonna be coming back with like 30 things to show off next episode.
He's gonna be subscribing to adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters.
You know it. You know it.
There's gonna be a revival. Yeah. Yeah. So Batgirl, as you can see, they're only 5 issues in, or well, currently only 4 issues in. And it's a story of, and if you don't know who Batgirl is, if you're new to the Bat family, this particular Batgirl is Cassandra Cain, otherwise known as the Orphan. So this story is essentially about her and her mother, who is Lady Shiva, on the run from some weird cult group that's trying to kill them both.
Isn't that always the case?
Yeah. But it's a good story. I really like this particular character. I like Cassandra Cain, except from that movie, and I won't mention any more of that. But she's a cool
show. You mean the TV show?
I'm talking about the Birds of Prey movie.
Oh, I'm talking about the TV show that turned her in. Made her Kate Kane and made her that woman.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
no.
Man, I hadn't even thought of that. You had to
they changed her name to Kate and then made her Batwoman instead of Batgirl, and you're like,
no, absolutely not. That was awful too.
Yes.
But
this
Cassandra Cain is in the comic is really cool, and it's good stuff.
Nice.
And that's all. Well, no, I did realize that I do have one other book.
Yes.
And it's a number 1 that I forgot about.
There it is.
So this is going to be one of those where I will subscribe at least for the first issue and then decide if I want to read it further.
Yeah, well, I know it's like isn't it supposed to be an anthology to talk about the different Jedis and stuff?
Yes, it is.
Ooh, that's awesome.
When is it set? It's set. Is it before or after Phantom Menace?
I think it's before Phantom Menace.
Before? Well, because I'm looking at it there, isn't that? Maybe so.
I'm pretty sure that we talked about this on.
I'm pretty sure we did. I just don't remember, I guess.
Yeah, this is based on the synopsis, it is definitely before first issue in the prequel era.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be. Well, no, it would have to be because Qui-Gon Jinn is a main character.
Alive.
So,
yeah.
yeah, he's actually alive. So,
and Dooku is a Jedi.
yeah. So, yeah, it's got to be before.
Interesting.
Yeah. Trying to fix something here on my end.
Mm-hmm.
Taco Cat is saying before episode 1. Thank you for that clarification. Why in the world? Okay, whatever. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see here. Well, let's get into some news stuff here. Not too much.
News.
This was actually announced, I believe, during that big Comics Pro event. Marvel just didn't do a big. Well, they don't really say much about it here either. But since they didn't put it on an official thing, I kind of forgot this was announced during last week's news. But here's your official look at it of Death of the Silver Surfer, which is written by Greg Pak. So we'll see how this turns out. Interesting.
Death of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah. See what happens.
Yeah, I don't know about
that.
Why
Death of the Silver Surfer. I mean,
sure.
now, okay, the Silver Surfer, I always get this mixed up. Is the Silver Surfer just the Silver Surfer, or does the Herald of Galactus always become a Silver Surfer?
Well, I don't think so, because there used to be a Herald of Galactus whose name was Nova, not the
Nova, yeah,
not
yeah,
the
not
Nova.
Nova Corps Nova, yeah.
Right. Though there was a Nova. Let's see if I can pull up a picture of her. Frankie Ray was her name.
Okay.
Huh. Yeah, she was a Herald of Galactus and went by the name Nova, and she was not a Silver Surfer. So,
yeah, you could be a Herald of Galactus and not be a Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer, I don't remember how he got his powers, but there's some special way to how he got his powers. And then that later carried on to Chalabal, you know.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, because I was like, that's why I asked.
There's a bunch of heralds that not. If you actually, one of the other big heralds of Galactus people might know of is somebody named Terrax. And that person was actually reading the most recent Lego Marvel special that Disney Plus did. Voice. Do you know who voiced him too?
No.
Kevin Smith voiced him.
Oh, wow. Silent Bob himself.
So, a little bit of fun trivia there, if you will. But yeah. Yep. Let's see here.
I wonder why they didn't put him in the Fantastic Four movie.
You know, it would have been really interesting to maybe actually see one of those other heralds than having Shala Ball as the surfer in this new movie. So, because I don't know, I guess it's to try to have it more closer to. I don't know.
Maybe to do with the time period, maybe?
Maybe.
Well, yeah, I mean, that could be part of it because, you know, they're trying to tell the original Galactus trilogy story. And that's an episode that should either be its own video or episode on here at some point of covering the actual story that this movie is ultimately based from. The Galactus trilogy, Fantastic Four issues 48 through 50. The original Fantastic Four, 48 through 50. Where Galactus makes his first appearance when he comes to Earth and blah, blah, blah. The story that this movie is based off from. And so...
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so we'll see, though. Yeah, let's there's some good heralds. No, but what I was getting to is I think with Shala Ball, they're trying to get it closer to the story of having a surfer because they're not wanting to use the main Silver Surfer, as we know here, because they're wanting to, since as we know now, this Fantastic Four movie is set in an alternate reality, and so they're wanting to save the main Silver Surfer for later on. Is there
That's
reasoning?
exactly what I was thinking.
And
yeah.
not kill off
yes,
the main Norrin Rad.
Northern Rad, yeah.
because
No.
we do know. I mean, we even though we haven't seen the movie, we're pretty sure that the TVA is somehow involved with this Fantastic Four movie, and that Galactus is going to win.
That's the
That's the
rumor.
rumor.
Of it.
Is
That's
that Galactus
the
is going to
rumor of
win? The TVA is going to pull the Fantastic Four, and they're going to come into the sacred timeline.
Hmm.
And that's why they're introducing this different Silver Surfer, because that Silver Surfer is probably gonna then just, I don't know what, probably die by the hand of the Fantastic Four or something, and then ultimately before Galactus wins.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really interesting to have a story where Galactus will win there. So
Yes,
we'll see what happens. I'm definitely looking forward to it very much. So we'll see what happens.
I'm looking forward to that Thunderbolts movie.
Yeah, looking good. So yeah,
yeah, it looks fun. Except for Taskmaster. Like, I love how in the trailer it's just Taskmaster is only shown when they're showing who the characters in the movie are. There's
Yeah.
no other scene really with Taskmaster. It's everybody else.
Yeah.
It's because they know.
kill
No
off
one-
that atrocity.
Please.
As far as this goes, we just have in a world of shades of gray, the story of Norrin Rad lets us find a little silver. I'm so thrilled to have the chance to tell the story. Okay, never mind. I just want to say much here. His final adventure, I guess, is returns to a war-ravaged Earth. Norrin has a galaxy-sized target on his back, facing a threat capable of stealing away everything, wherever it will be. Single human life that all decides to surface salvation or damnation.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, we'll see what happens. If the server fails, then who wields the awesome power cosmic? Well, we'll see. It's interesting.
It's interesting that the term salvation and damnation are used with the comic we read for today.
All right. Let's get into some more stuff here. As we get, The Thing has a new solo comic series coming out.
Ooh.
5-issue limited series. There's the main cover there. Let's see what the main thing is here. Once upon a time, there's a scrawny kid from Yancey Street. When an unexpected visitor from his past sends him on a search for a missing child, the Thing must unravel the mystery, even if that means becoming a wanted man. Get ready to see the ever-loving blue-eyed Thing versus every superpowered criminal and bounty hunter in New York City. Fleeks and Kirk gives a glimpse of the history of the Thing that reminds you why Ben Grimm is the heart of the Marvel Universe, and why you don't want to let him hear you say that. So there we go. See Bullseye right there. There's the Blob. There's part of the main Wrecking Ball dude. And Juggernaut, yeah. So a bunch of people on that cover. So interesting. Actually, this one comes out. This is on sale, but I don't remember seeing this here on Wednesday. But I don't know. But yeah, new. Oh, it's showing off more of their covers and stuff. Okay, and giving a little bit of an inside look at the art there. Oh snap! I didn't realize that the person doing the interior art here is drawn by Justin Mason, who also did the art for Sentinels, and he's actually for artist that's actually, I believe, from here in Kentucky, and he's going to be at the con next week. So that's really cool. I do actually really like his art here with this. This is really cool. Awesome. All right. Moving on, we got Wolverine is celebrating 400th issue with a special side story with who's doing it? This is a side story by I can actually read. Side story done by Daniel Warren Johnson. So it's going to be, I believe, a maybe a finale to the current Wolverine arc, and then we're getting a side story done by Daniel Warren Johnson, which will be interesting. And so we can actually see a bit of the art there, as we get to see a tale of brutal revenge from Logan's past. Cool bit of art here. So there we go. Wolverine. All right. And then here's something you might find interesting, Chris, is there's something called the Puluminati coming out.
Oh, hell yeah. Look at that.
Coming
Which
out.
Deadpool is that? Is that Summer Deadpool?
There's a bunch of just random Deadpools. Like there's a mouse Deadpool.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, a bunch of Deadpools around here. You can see the main
awesome.
Deadpool and his daughter that they have around.
I love the soda gun Deadpool.
So we got an official
squirting
preview.
The soda gun in the guy's face. Wow.
So there's
Lady Deadpool. Looks like.
No, I like the art in it. That's cool.
Yeah,
there's like a big mech Deadpool. I find it too because it's so Deadpool-like there. When you look at that logo up there,
yeah,
just put pool in front of the already Illuminati logo that we have.
Yeah,
So there's that. Yeah, the pool Illuminati. What's the description of this one? It opens with Wade Wilson whisking Ellie away to an interdimensional portal. Through the rift, they arrive at the Puluminati's headquarters, where they are greeted by a vibrant assortment of Deadpool variants from across the multiverse. Then father and daughter team up to fight a giant Deadpool mech. What could possibly go wrong? So they don't really say much about what is there, but it sounds like it'll be wild, fun adventure. So we'll see what happens. As Puluminati, there you got it. Well, maybe I'll read it once it comes out on Marvel Unlimited. It could be fun. I have one other bit of comic news. And then if we wanted to, I have some other, just other general comic book related news. But I wanted to, at least, the only bit of like really DC news I saw that stood out to me is DC's higher tier of membership, which I know Steve uses, where you can get any book off the stands after a week.
30 days.
After a week, 30 days, my bad. After a month.
Yeah.
So 30 days exactly. You get anything new. And it used to only be a yearly plan for $120 a year. That's not changing. But what they just added is a monthly option. Before, you could only sign up monthly for their base tier. Now you can sign up monthly for the higher tier for $13 a month. So obviously, you'll save money as you're paying like $36 more, I think, monthly versus yearly. But it's cool as that they have now added a monthly option to that, as well as adding more vertical scrolling for some of their special issues. Most namely, they've been adding it to the Absolute comics as they have been big. Also, you can check out their original webcomics, such as Nothing But Nightwing, that we talked about before.
No. So I'm actually a little bit irritated by this news.
Oh, really?
Because
get off my lawn.
I wanted them to do a monthly for so long, and finally I just laid down the money for the annual. Damn it, fuck it, I'll just do the annual. And now they decide to do monthly, fuckers.
Well, that's like so YouTube TV didn't have MLB Network, and so I'm like, and their prices were going up. I'm like, you know what, I want my MLB Network, so I switched to DirecTV, right, and the streaming, and then literally like a month later, MLB Network is like, oh, we have an a la carte pack, you could just get MLB Network for like $7 a month. I'm like, oh, god damn it. Back to YouTube TV I go. Liked it much better. It's like, fuck.
Oh man.
It's like when we buy a game and then it's free on Epic the next week.
Yeah, yeah. Or Game Pass.
Yeah, or it's Game Pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you looking forward to opening day, Chris?
Oh, very much so. Very much so. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll be really excited up until about a month into it, and then I'll be like, "Yep, we're gonna lose again."
Hey, I mean, the best thing about your guys' team is the s'mores milkshake thing they have at the stadium. He's gonna look it up.
Which team do you think is mine?
White Sox.
Okay, just making sure. A lot of
Yeah.
people
No,
they're
I know
like,
you're
"Oh,
a
aren't
White
you a
Sox-
Texas Rangers fan?" No,
No,
fuck no, I'm not a
you're-
Texas
you're
Rangers fan.
White Sox fan. I know you're a White Sox fan.
Yeah,
I know you're a sad White Sox fan.
I am.
Hey, you won a World Series when our team, when the Orioles were crappy. So I mean, hey,
That's fair.
you know, so we still haven't won one in freaking 40 years.
This is your year, man.
I hope so.
I
hope
not
so.
our year.
No, when your biggest signing, the team says, was Austin Slater, who you took from us, by the way. They're like, we've been going after this guy so hard. All right, sorry, we're turning this into a Yawn Sports podcast. We apologize.
Okay.
Continue, Spencer.
We can continue.
Matthew says here, Marvel Insiders is closing soon. They barely had any physical rewards, but when they did, they went away quickly. But I know they had some like digital comic rewards and stuff too, because I believe I have a bit of points that I've accumulated and never used. So
you better go use them quickly.
I know.
Now, Marvel needs to up the ante and do an ultra package.
I thought they had one.
No, well, so what Marvel does is we were just talking about DC, how their stuff is available 1 month
week
for the
later.
retire.
Yeah.
Not a week, a month later.
Month time. Yeah.
But then their lower tier is 6 months after.
Ah, okay.
Marvel just has one flat out subscription 3 months after. And some stuff will come before.
That's
3
not
month
too
period.
bad. I mean, but yeah, if you added an ultimate that was only 1 month, I'm sure people would get it. For
Yeah,
sure. Like a higher ultimate. Because isn't it called Marvel Unlimited Ultimate? Isn't that
just
their
Marvel
tier?
Unlimited?
I thought they're. Oh yeah, okay.
They have a higher tier where you can get some goodies as a physical package. Marvel, what do they call that one? That is better. Annual Plus.
Plus,
they
that's
call
what it is. Okay.
And if you go to this annual, where can I just want to see what's in their special
Exclusive member.
Here it is.
There it is.
So here, let me pull this up so everybody can see it here. So what they have is it's just the kit. It's just your year, but then you get the special box.
Every year.
Every year, there's something special that'll come with a limited edition Hasbro Marvel Knights.
That's this year's.
Or Marvel Legends figure, where you only can get it as part of this package. Yeah. And so this year's is the Night Spider figure, as you can see there. And then you get all this other stuff in it.
That's really cool.
The Scotty Young, I'm not sure if that's a sticker or a pin, but the Helverine there.
That's a
Snicket.
pin. They said it's a pin.
Yeah, I was reading. Snicket patch. Special cover for Wolverine Revenge issue 1, the Deadpool Wolverine edition, and then you get that special little art card there.
From the movie that they created because of the movie.
Yeah, you can tell that is obviously very inspired by by the movie going on, Year of Wolverine.
So, I mean, when I signed up for the annual for DC, I got a free book.
Oh, cool.
It looks like
where is that? It's probably up on my bookshelf.
Well, that's where books go, isn't it?
Usually.
Oh, that's the code. Never mind. I'm trying to see if they say. Yeah, I'm not.
Secret code?
No, you can currently, but offer ends tomorrow night. You can get 50% off of your first month though using Cap 50. Since they have more than off, they have a special promotion. Yeah. After this one ends, there'll be one for Daredevil. So.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They seem to always have one going on. So.
You excited for Daredevil next week, Steve?
I am quite a bit. I've been. I was planning on trying to rewatch the entire series, but
Just ask
life,
Spencer for a recap. He's just
life gets in the way. Well,
Yes,
all I got to do is go in and read the synopsis, and I'll
That's
be like, yeah, I
old-
remember.
the Cliff Notes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. I remember that happening.
Those Cliff Notes would be better than my oral,
Presentation?
recitation. Yeah, of it.
Well,
yeah,
we're gonna grade you on it though, Spencer.
Oh God,
I need a
Think of
book
it like
report.
a class project.
a book report.
I need a book report.
Matthew said they had a whole year of unlimited for free. That's awesome. Sucks he missed it though.
Damn.
And Taco Cat says feels bad for Steve and his team. Poor Steve.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the season hasn't even started yet.
I
so
know.
it's
It's
not
baseball,
time
so
to-
anything can happen.
Yeah, it's not time
Anything.
to start boo-hooing yet.
Yet.
I mean, I can boo-hoo about the hockey season right now.
What? Who's your hockey team? Are you a Blackhawks fan?
Well, I actually have two.
Okay.
Blackhawks is one of them,
okay.
and that's dismal.
Yeah, well, they're
um,
rebuilding. We know that.
Yeah, they're rebuilding for the last 5 years. I get it.
Well, rebuilds take time, Steve.
I know. No, but my other team is right here, Dallas Stars.
Oh, okay.
And they're not doing bad.
I mean, they've been good over the past decade. So
They're
they're
they're in second place, so they're not doing
that's
too
good.
bad. But
I haven't
but yeah,
followed
the
hockey in a while.
Blackhawks are shit right now. So
I have
yeah,
not followed hockey in a while.
it's all right.
Baseball and football are the two I follow now.
Now the Blackhawks did actually win a game yesterday, so
Oh, see,
I can't-
Spencer said he would play. There's one hockey game he would play with me, and it's a roguelite hockey game.
Wait, what are we talking about? I'll recall what we're talking about.
Let me get the game up. It's on Steam. I have it on my wish list. Tape to tape. Tape to tape. You sent it to me once. You said if you ever get this, it's got remote play. You said I would play it.
Oh, that one. I thought you were referring to the.
What about this one, Spencer? Check your Discord and tell me, would you play? It's PC only, but would you play this?
Which one is it? Which
What?
one is it?
Backyard hockey.
Oh, hell yeah!
I'm not familiar with that one. Can't say I am.
I mean,
Well,
you know
that's
the backyard sports franchise, right?
Yeah, there's like a whole franchise.
There's
There's
baseball,
backyard football,
They're bringing it
baseball.
back
Yeah,
for baseball or football. They brought it back for football, I think.
yeah.
I think they brought it back for football.
It's been in the news because some guy is trying to buy the whole franchise.
Oh,
This
interesting.
might be a surprise to you all, but this is the one
Hockey,
hockey
NES.
game I've actually enjoyed.
And that's not even the best NES hockey game. Blades of Steel is way better.
Yeah, for sure. Blades of Steel. Yeah.
But I think what I really want actually Spencer to try is Blood Bowl.
There you go.
Blood Bowl is football, but it's turn-based fantasy play.
Oh.
Football with a fantasy vibe.
I think you would like backyard hockey, though.
Think I would.
I think you would like it.
Anyway.
Anyway.
We have been totally off the rails today.
This is true. This is
That's
true.
what happens when I'm around.
Talking about hamsters. Talking
Whoa,
about
camera.
hockey.
We do have
Probably fine on
a couple other bits of just general comic related news if you all want to give your thoughts on that really quick.
Sure.
We have as you may have heard, there's a canceled Wonder Woman game that just recently happened as Warner Bros. Is closing down 3 of their studios. One of them being the one that's making the Wonder Woman game. Another one being the people who made Multiverses. And then I'm not familiar with what the other team worked on, really. But yeah. Very unfortunate as we're not seeing this Wonder Woman game happen. And I'm really not happy about it because for anybody that doesn't know, Warner Bros. Has patented a special game system called the Nemesis system, which the Lord of the Rings, Shadow of Mordor, and Shadow of War uses. And this Wonder Woman game was going to use it, and only Warner Bros. Could use it. And they have this now patent under lockdown until for another 11 years before anybody could even use it. And now this only studio that was using it is now closed down, which is really annoying. So sucks. But something interesting, something I did find though, is writer Gail Simone was a creative consultant on this Wonder Woman game, and so she had some thoughts on all this that she shared.
Let's hear it.
And so, yeah, others have already revealed elsewhere. So, yeah, she just wanted to say some things about this game. So, yeah, she was asked to do long-term consulting. Is for anyone that doesn't know, she did a big run on Wonder Woman, and that's one of her big, characters that she's really into, special to her. And so, I haven't read her run of Wonder Woman personally, but yeah. But yeah, so she was really excited about Monolith doing it. She was really a big fan of their Lord of the Rings games. She was saying the game was gorgeous, but also very expensive. It was aiming to be a big AAA game. It doesn't help that also something else I read is that before this Wonder Woman game, because here's the thing, Shadow of War came out in 2017. Sure, it had some DLC and whatnot that came out afterwards, but it's like they haven't put out a new game in 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And part of that reason isn't necessarily just because of Wonder Woman. It's because what they were working on original IP that then got canceled in 2021, and then that's when focus shifted to Wonder Woman.
Got you.
But yeah, so gorgeous, expensive, beautiful. She's saying here, and so saying is very much to not make it just a great game, but a great Wonder Woman game. She's saying that everyone on the team just did the best they possibly could. She doesn't know she could have ever worked with it. She was just praising the team all around. Saying it was a dream come true to finally see Wonder Woman start to be coming to a game. She made sure that they had all Wonder Woman DC lore on every aspect of the game, and saying it was a thrill and honor to just work with all of them and just, how it is, and just sometimes saying, it doesn't work out. So we will see. Patrick's saying bring back the Arkham stuff, easy payday. Supposedly that's what Rocksteady is going to be working on, is another Batman game of sorts, is what they're working on.
Yeah,
but we'll see how that turns out though. I don't know. That studio has changed a lot since Arkham Knight has come out, so we'll see if they can truly put out another great Batman game. The other thing I have with it, the other thing I'm really worried about, or not worried about, but I should say annoyed, is the fact that we've now got revealed that there's been all these different things that the studios were trying to work on, or pitches with the other DC characters that would have really been cool, such as I believe it was isn't it Warner Bros. Montreal?
Yes,
that comes out on that did Gotham Knights, right?
Yes.
So they were trying to work on a Flash game for a little bit. That got canceled. I think it was them. I could be wrong. That pitched a Constantine game, and then
Constantine game would have been fun.
And then obviously there's all the stuff that people want just a Superman game. Point is, it's like DC has all these great characters. It's really like it'd be great to try to do something special with those characters, but obviously now Warner Bros. Is very focused on playing it safe right now. So
Mortal Kombat.
So it happens. Mortal Kombat. Even then, supposedly, the sales for this new one hasn't been that good. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you love it, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I haven't played much, but to be fair, I just really haven't been to the fighters that much.
Yeah.
In general, like, I mean, I played a lot of
the old school ones.
No, I mean, just in general, like, I haven't really just played that much fighters. Like,
that's true.
Like just in general.
We played the Capcom one.
Yeah, like that's the thing though. Is like we played a bit of that. Just like how I played a bit of Mortal Kombat, and then I just stopped, So
yeah,
that's both. I just haven't I don't know. I really like those games, but I just
Yeah, a fighter is a game that you just like pick up every once in a while and play with your friends.
Taco Cat is not a fan of Suicide Squad. And Patrick is saying as long as it's not the Suicide Squad team. Well,
that's Rocksteady. I mean,
that's not.
That is Rocksteady. That's the only game they were working on. So that is all of Rocksteady, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I sent you something in Discord that was an IGN Fan Fest news. I don't know if you saw it. I don't see that you have it on there.
Did yeah, we can talk about this really quick.
This is interesting.
Another bit of comic
weird
news.
Crossover
because I know this was announced a while ago, and it was mentioned on one of the shows before. About TMNT X Naruto delivers a crossover, and so we got this. Oh, they put out actual. Oh no, that's Tails. Never mind. What is this? The art would load. There we go. So we got some art designs for them.
Oh, there's April. I like the April design.
That's interesting. I like Splinter's Mask.
That's cool.
Interesting. I'm not familiar with who this Turtles character is.
It's what's her name? I know her name too. I'll look it up.
But yeah, interesting. TMNT X Naruto, we got a special preview gallery. Looks like that's all that was really shown. We've got an official description of how they cross over, but
Alopex, that's her name.
Wait, no, this is an article from
well, what the hell? Okay.
I was about to say, I thought this was already coming out.
There was a video. There was a video. Hold on.
Yeah. I was about to say, I thought this has been coming out, so.
Here.
I know the only person that would really interest is Patrick, and just as I'm saying that, he says, is an old school fan of classic Kid Naruto manga, this is really cool, so.
Yeah.
I'd be open. I don't know anything about Naruto, but like once it's all collected, said and done, if Patrick wanted to come on and talk about it, I'd be open to reading it then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, be like for an episode of Shell Talk.
Yeah, we could do it for an episode of Shell Talk. Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna send you this video that has with a timestamp that's got a screenshot of the inside.
Screenshot of the inside. Let's see here.
Oh, of course, you have an ad.
Yep.
Download an ad blocker. God damn it.
What's the timestamp?
It should have been. It's built into the link.
Oh, I see. I see.
You just gotta wait for your ad to finish.
Let's see here.
Oh my god.
God damn it, YouTube. You didn't tell me there's two ads.
It did not.
You cucks.
But it's about at least.
It's not up. It's not up on the screen. But here we go. I'll put it up on the screen now. There you go. There you go. Let me skip that one. Let's see here. Interesting. I like this art. Wait. This is for the Naruto one?
Yeah.
That art in the inside was not what I was expecting it to be for a moment ago. So that's cool. Nice. I like the art there.
Me too.
I like it. I dig it.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Only other stuff I have is related just different comic book related stuff. Is we got some other just like details and whatnot on some DC news and whatnot, or movies and stuff. Talk about the highlights there. As we did get 3 series announced, animated series. Which we got My Adventures with Green Lantern.
Very excited for that because of how good My Adventures with Superman is.
Yeah, set in Jessica Cruz being a main lantern, which is funny. That's Jessica Cruz because that's like one of the 2 lanterns of like the main Earth lanterns I like don't really know much about.
Cool. Well, there you go. Perfect.
Got DC superpowers.
Which
I don't remember
what
superpowers about. That is the one.
There we go.
Takes place at the Alliance School for Heroes and focuses on 2 students, Lightning, Flash, Plastic Man, Aqua Girl, Green Lantern, and Terra, who level up their powers under the supervision of principled Martian Manhunter.
Dude, that's gonna be fun.
So
that'll be a fun series.
And then
I hope they get the same voice actor that always does Martian Manhunter.
Then we have Starfire, serves as their origin story. None of these are set in the main universe.
What's
They're
his
just
name?
side stories off the different universes and whatnot. My adventure with Green Lantern is obviously part of Superman, so that's cool. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And then we also just got like a bunch of other updates on their other stuff. Stuff being put on the back burner and saying that there is a plan to lead up to something in 6 years. So we'll see what happens. But they're obviously focusing more on quality over quantity they're just saying, well, some great scripts come up, and that's how stuff like Sergeant Rock and Clayface is being made, and some stuff coming out a little sooner than they thought, like Superwoman, that they knew they wanted to get to. But next thing they know, it's a great script, so they'll just make it. Next thing we know, it's already halfway through production as we speak. But on the flip side, there's definitely some things we're talking about being put on the back burner, such as the Authority and Waller. They're saying has had a lot of trouble with development, and
that's a shame.
And then there was I really like actually the Deadline article here. I like the way they break down the individual project news, because they kind of talk about the current status of every single one here, which I like. They specifically list the movie and the status of it. So obviously, we know Supergirl's in production. Clayface is going to begin production later this year. What the hell did that IG? Batman 2 is still awaiting a script, but still planning to go into production.
Keeps getting delayed because of that script.
Yeah, I know, right? We're getting the Batman Brave and the Bold, where they're just waiting on the script as well. But revealed that Andy Muschietti's not writing it. It's somebody else that Gunn won't name, so there's no pressure on the guy specifically. So, but we'll see what happens with that. Sergeant Rock, so where they said Daniel Craig was never attached. They never even met with him, so... But they're saying what we love about Sergeant Rock is the opportunity to tell a story about heroism and conflict in a compelling and unique way. Justin really wrote a wonderful screenplay, and that's what catapulted that project to the forefront. The movie will shoot this summer if they can find the right actor. Swamp Thing, that's the one just saying where the ball's in James Mangold's court is. He's either going to be working on this or his Star Wars movie next, and it sounds like it may be the Star Wars movie, so it may be a long time till we actually end up seeing anything from the Swamp Thing. So that's the one that's on the back burner. That new movie that we actually got confirmed from the person who worked on the script of Supergirl is a Teen Titans movie. Is saying that she's really impassioned about. Turned over an amazing script, and she's failing with that now. Definitely not finished yet, but something they're working on. And then also
looking forward to that.
Some sort of Matthew Orton screenplay, which is rumored to be a Deathstroke and Bane movie, which I hope this is true.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I really want that. And then
hopefully we get a good Bane on screen. No offense, Tom Hardy, but
it
wasn't his fault.
And then, as we said,
stupid ass thing they put on his face.
Then, as we said, mentioned earlier, I mentioned earlier, is the Authority is being put on back burner and saying they're feeling like it's a story really hard to get right now in a world.
It's
so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think people are like with getting that kind of group fatigue from DC. They want solo movies and the bigger names solo movies, and if they're gonna get the group, they want bigger groups like Batman Brave and the Bold.
Well, they're talking about, when it's, I think it's important here, like Authority to bring in a new team into the spotlight. It's important that it's done right, so.
And at the right time.
That's true too. And I think that's part of the problem as well with them is they're realizing maybe we should wait on making this
too
movie.
Quick. They'd make this, if they brought this movie out too quickly, it'd be the same mistake that the Snyderverse had. Where they just kind of threw it all, a team together, a team movie out there before the universe was properly established.
We'll see what happens. I mean, it is an interesting take though, as they're focusing on quality and not necessarily like this movie. They're focusing on building the different corners of the universe that will all connect to something.
Yes.
Versus Marvel kind of did it at first, but like
Go
they're
away from it, yeah.
yeah, it's going something different where like, but it's different than the Marvel idea where each movie serves as something to to point to something that's important in the universe. This
Yeah,
one
they're not
focusing
connecting
on
stories; they're connecting characters.
it's
And the
connecting a
world.
universe, but not the
Yeah.
stories directly. It's building out the
Yes.
corners of the universe is what
Yep.
they're doing. So a bit of a different approach from Marvel, which I think is going to be interesting to see how
good.
they do.
And
Yeah,
I
I
think
am looking
James
forward to
Gunn
it.
is doing it like that after learning that the way Marvel's been doing it. Because I mean, when he was doing Guardians 3, think of all the shitty movies that had already just come out for the MCU. And
It's really important to
the
get
not
that.
great ones that were getting ready to come out.
Yeah.
And so he was there during he was there when all the mistakes were made and could learn how to not make them running DC.
Yeah, indeed. And then we just got updates on all the TV stuff. Peacemaker confirmed to premiere in August. I believe I specifically heard late August.
Nice.
Waller, as I mentioned, has a bumpy development. Lanterns will premiere in early 2026. Right now, I know they specifically said as well something else with Lanterns. Do I have that linked? Yes. Speaking of Lanterns, we got our first look at them.
Oh,
Production just began. So there's our first look at Jon Stewart and Hal. I'm not quite sold on the actor for Hal yet, but I think Jon Stewart.
Really, I think Hal Chandler looks great.
I think he looks good. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm hoping my worries wash away once I see like a trailer or something.
You'll hear I think once you hear him speak,
it'll
help because
it's just
Kyle Chandler has a really good screen presence.
Sure. We'll see. I'm hoping my concerns wash away once I see something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all. But yeah. So Lanterns, early next year. They said it's right now planned to just be this season, but if it does well, they will continue it, as there is a plan for how they can continue it. But they're just wanting it to be something that, if you're new to Green Lantern, you can enjoy it. As a good introduction to the mythos, and if you're not familiar with Green Lantern, or if you're familiar with Green Lantern, you'd be happy with, how they present them finally on the screen and how the different references and stuff there is. So we'll see what happens. I'm hoping it's good, as I think we'll see exactly how this Earth-based story, I guess, will work with them. But I think it's important to have a good introduction Green Lantern story, and that's the hardest reason why I think it's been for Green Lantern to just kick off on screen in general, is you have to find the right story for Green Lantern to kick off, to really introduce the mythos to a wider audience, to make it successful, to be that sort of big series. You
mean, and not make it too obscure and make it more grounded?
Well, just
that's what it seems like the direction they're going.
Well, I think that going in a more grounded approach to try to appeal to a wider audience.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah.
And so, and I think that's one of the ways that it works, because I personally thought before of it's like, I think what you should do for a Green Lantern movie, that I've said before, is what they should do is have a story with Hal already been there, and have Jon Stewart as like the other main guy there with him.
Like a passing the torch kind of thing?
Well, my thought initially is you could have Jon Stewart as like the newer Lantern, like maybe not necessarily his origin, but like just after that.
Where so like a Men in Black dynamic kind of.
Sure, yeah,
Tommy
that's a
Lee
good
Jones
way to put it.
And Will Smith kind of.
Yeah, that was sort of my idea. Is I was like, or have it midway through. Don't begin with the origin crap. But you can still have it kind of early on, and just highlight really how the special mythos of what Green Lantern is. Because the reason is when you're doing an origin of Green Lantern, sure, you can show some of that, but you can't really get into what I think is the really interesting bits of Green Lantern.
Well, that's
you
the
know?
quote obscure stuff that I'm talking about, that you want to do a more grounded show first, like they're doing, which is cool. Like you said, it's good how they're doing it, because do the grounded show, and then it'll eventually, the grounded show will lead into the awesome, cool cosmos stuff that
if that's
can
what it
turn into a
leads
movie.
if that's what it leads to, I'm all for it, you know. And so I'm open to the ideas of what they're bringing to it. And if this is the project to make a wider audience realize, oh, Green Lantern isn't the shit that Ryan Reynolds was in all those years ago, good.
Hey, that movie was great.
Except for the CG.
See, the CG wasn't great. Parallax was dumb. But overall, that movie's been a laughingstock. I don't think it's as bad as people say. But
No.
I'm just saying, as far as public perception of like how that movie's perceived.
Great vehicle, though, for the Deadpool franchise. A great vehicle for them to use for the Deadpool franchise. Because it's not that it's a laughing stock. And I think what I love about, and again, it's not a terrible, terrible movie, but there's a lot of bad things about it that make it a laughing stock. And I think the great thing about someone like Ryan Reynolds is he's made so many movies that he's like, okay, one movie gets a laughing stock. Let me use this to my advantage.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And he did.
One of those redemptions as far as at least career, you know, whether because here's the thing, I think he played a good Hal. But,
yes.
And what was his name? Mark Strongest Sinestro. Wonderful Sinestro. Like that's the thing though, is like I think it's gonna be hard for them to like have a better Sinestro in the show. And seeing Sinestro in this is gonna be awesome too. I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
So but all right, we got other series to talk about as well. We got Penguin season 2 is to be determined. As you know, they're saying there's lots of moving pieces, including even if Colin Farrell himself wants to do it. It's all about matter of finding, I think, the right story for season 2.
I think also schedule-wise, because you know Colin Farrell's not exactly.
He's a busy guy. He's a busy guy.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. If they make if they find a great story to tell for season 2, I think he'd be open to it. But
sure,
also,
I think though they're focused more on the Batman 2 more first, and he's going to be a big part of that as well.
Absolutely,
because of how the first season is going to lead into the second movie.
That's cool. Matthew says he got Green Lantern on Blu-ray for free a while back when Warner Brothers has their career rewards program.
Nice.
You know, actually, I believe it's downstairs. I got a steel book for the Green Lantern movie. And so, cool little steel book there. Isn't there like an extended version of that movie? Or am I like wrong about that? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's cool. All right, we got Paradise Lost. Saying that still in the works, no writers, so nothing much with Paradise Lost going on. So nothing much really happened with Booster Gold yet either. Saying they're waiting on a particular showrunner / creator that expressed some interest, so they're just trying to find the right talent to start making that with. Then the Blue Beetle animated series is saying that is getting to a place they're going to present for green light really soon. So it sounds like we might get an official green light for that Blue Beetle animated series sooner than later.
So what's interesting about that, it says that it follows on the events of the movie.
Yeah.
But I thought the movie wasn't supposed to be canon in the DCU.
I think it's going to be one of those
Elseworlds.
Well, not necessarily.
Or you're saying it's more like Creature Commandos, where it's referenced but not canon.
Maybe more of that. To my understanding, they're wanting Blue Beetle. When they saw the movie, they're like, well, this could be canon to our universe. It doesn't really touch on other bits.
So they made that decision before they saw the movie, is what you're saying.
Well, keep in mind, James Gunn came in the fall before, so nearly a year before Blue Beetle came out. So he saw the movie, and he was like, okay, this is a movie that could work on my universe. We already have a great Blue Beetle cast. So it's kind of like a Suicide Squad situation. I don't know if that movie's fully canon or not, or if it's more like Vision.
Because I thought the big thing was that the character was going to be a part of the DCU, but the movie wasn't going to be canon.
Yeah, I'm not. It very much could be a Creature Commando situation. Then I'm not completely sure on how much it is. It could be one of those things where it follows the same continuity rule as what they're doing with Peacemaker and Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It is weird though, and it's one of those things where it's like, well, I really like those characters. I don't know. It does make it confusing to an extent, of like. What is and isn't, because to a point, it's like if you're going to reboot it,
Yes.
make it fresh, and so, but we'll see how it turns out, and so we'll just wait and see. All right. That's it as far as just the news go. Now
we should probably be talking about X-Men.
We probably should. One more thing though. Just quickly, Chris, if you don't mind, talk about why we are here and why we're talking about X-Men specifically really quick.
So we are here because February 28th, which was Friday, was Rare Disease Day. It's the last day of February every year. So on leap year, it is the 29th. And we've been raising money for FMF-NAID Global Association. FMF stands for Familial Mediterranean Fever. It's an autoinflammatory disease that I have. I was born with it. I was diagnosed when I was 3 years old. There are plenty of people, though, who go through life and don't get diagnosed until they're older. We've spoken to many people like that over this weekend. So we're raising money. As you can see, we're only $5.97 away from our
That
goal.
is fantastic.
Freaking amazing. I did not, I always go in with low expectations because then when you beat them, it feels that much better. So yeah. I'm very happy that we've reached it. And unfortunately, it only shows the top 10 donators. They make it like a leaderboard. So many people have donated, from David March to Hosea in New Zealand, who's donated $1. Yes, you can donate even just $1. So if you just wanted to donate, you can donate it in your currency, and it'll convert it for you. Look, it doesn't have every currency, but it's got a lot of currencies. And I'm sure if you were like, hey, my currency isn't on there, and you wanted your currency on there, we contact Streamlabs charity and see if they add it. But anyway, besides the point. But FMF-NAID Global Association is an organization I work with that help patients all over the world. I got a number yesterday, about 40% of the patients are from the United States.
Okay.
So there's a very high percentage from the United States. In the world. Oh, did we get one? What do we get?
Rebel Nerd Radio has donated $5. That's awesome.
Yeah, $5. So now we're 97 cents. So someone donate a damn $1.
There we go.
Someone donate $1, and then we're at the goal. It's gonna take it. This site is. Oh, there it goes. Hey, it went faster for you. What the heck? Oh, it's probably because I'm like logged in and stuff and all that stuff.
There we go. Stuff. Awesome.
Look at that. 97 cents. Thank you, Steve. You rock, man.
Awesome.
You rock.
Why
not just your radio either?
Why is that a 67 there at the?
So there was an amount that there was a weird check not a weird check, but a check that couldn't be cashed in Europe because the organization is based in Switzerland. So the check had to be sent to me. I deposited it and then redonated it. And make it like that we wanted to still raise $1,000. So that $67 is that extra amount. So
got you.
We are 97 cents away from really raising $1,000.
That's fantastic.
This month. And it's freaking incredible. Thank you, everybody who has donated. So many people have donated.
It's going to happen.
Spoken to so many. Yeah, it's going to happen. I know. Spoken to so many people this weekend, that have amazing stories. Go check out all those videos after today. And we'll have another one dropping tomorrow. We have another one dropping this evening. I'm scheduled So while you're watching a stream, you could, if we're boring you with what we're doing, go put on one of those mute us and put on one of those interviews and watch those, because those are very interesting and you won't be bored by watching those and listening to those conversations.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
yeah. Definitely very deep conversations over there.
Yeah. And so the reason we wanted to talk about X-Men is because if you don't know, X-Men was written back in the 60s, started to be written as basically an allegory for the social justice movement, starting to happen.
We just got another donation.
Oh my gosh.
X-Men was woke before woke was a thing.
Yes.
We just got a donation from Gannon. What's that?
Patrick. Patrick, did he do $1?
He did. I believe it said 1097 on here.
Oh shit, Patrick getting
nice.
us.
Now it's not.
Yeah, now it's doing that thing.
Yeah.
That's why if you had the bar, it would show you.
But it's not.
He said, "I don't want the bar. I'm good." But, so we are now at 1077. 1077. Oh my gosh.
Sweet.
77. Remember who used to like 77 when we would do these charity events?
No.
Gambit. The
What?
word Gambit. I'm just going to say the name Gambit. Who do you think of?
Oh, okay.
So now we've got another 77, Patrick. Look at you. Look at you.
Awesome.
Woo! Yeah. It'll eventually. Well,
We'll go back to it at the end.
So like Steve just said, X-Men was woke before woke was a thing, and fighting for social change. And if you go watch some of these interviews, you'll understand why I feel like change needs to happen and why we're here advocating for patients and helping patients, and why all kinds of Melena and Ellen and all the people at FMFNID, how they support patients by reaching out to organizations on their behalf. I'm just here as the voice on the microphone, raising the money, getting the people's voices out there, outreach. That's my title. I'm an outreach officer essentially, and we are very excited that we're growing and that this event is growing. Obviously, it's had its ups and downs, for certain various reasons, health wise, people wise.
Yes.
But it's always got the same message, and so we wanted to cover a comic that kind of had that same message, and we didn't know what X-Men comic to cover.
Yeah,
but Steve graciously suggested one, and boy did he choose a good one.
Yeah,
boy did he choose a good one.
I was trying to think of one that wasn't like super overrated.
Yeah, no, understandable. Yeah. And wow, what a great story this was.
Yeah, there we go. God Loves, Man Kills, written by the great Christopher Claremont and Brent Eric Anderson. So, yeah, that's awesome.
And this one really has some like modern connotations to it, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy because this story came out. When did the story originally come out?
I mean, it would have been the 80s.
I was going to say, I was thinking 80s, but I wasn't really sure.
Yeah, it definitely feels like an 80s
story. 82.
80 early 80.
Hey, the year of my birth too. Look at that. It like works out.
We got another donation.
Gosh. Jesus
we got
Christ.
$5 from Anonymous.
Oh, whoever you are. Thank you, whoever you are.
That is fantastic.
Someone lurking, obviously. So thank you
very much.
Thank you. $5 more. Holy crap.
That is fantastic. There we go.
We're going to be partying like it's 2025.
1982.
1982. Yeah, there we go. 1982. Oh gosh, I don't know if we want to party like it's 1982. Not these days.
No,
We might be. We might not make it.
No. Yeah, so this one came out in 1982. It was very loosely translated into a film. X2.
I was going to say,
yeah, that makes.
While I was reading it, I got
Yeah.
a lot of X2 vibes. From
Yeah,
it.
very loosely translated because William Stryker is the main antagonist.
Yep.
Although in the comic book he is not a military dude.
But he used to be.
Right. But he is serving in a televangelist capacity.
Not just serving, he runs the thing.
Yeah.
You know? He's like he is. What's that guy's name?
Oh, Patrick's just made an interesting point here about the donations. He's saying it's 1082, 82 while talking about 1982.
Oh shit! Now we just need someone to donate $900. Come on, somebody!
There you go.
Hey, I can try, right?
Yeah.
Watch it come through. I'll be like, oh my god!
It's funny.
But yeah, so he's a televangelist, kind of like Jerry Falwell.
Yes, that's the name I'm thinking of. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And but yeah, it's very, very loosely adapted in X2.
That's the vibes I got when reading it.
But it's got a real, like, already the X-Men were kind of this, representing this minority population of the earth. Like they're already hated for what they are.
Yeah.
But this story kind of ups the ante on that one, and you've got these purifiers running around trying to kill them, and then you've got William Stryker trying to kill them en masse. And so it's I mean, it says a lot with how it opens here, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, whoa! Whoa!
What a way to begin a story!
Yeah.
I was not ready for that. I was like,
it's a crazy story.
I don't think anything like this opening could happen in, at least not modern Marvel comics nowadays. You know what I mean? It's like it literally involves Stryker's team putting down a couple of children, and it's just like, okay.
I mean, that's the thing about Claremont is he wasn't afraid to put
stuff out
there,
not at all.
And
see, right after Magneto comes as well. So,
but could you imagine if this book came out today?
Oh my gosh!
And like the parallels that they would make between Stryker and a certain politician whose name we will not mention.
Oh boy, yeah, yeah,
true.
Yeah, I mean,
say all.
And also, this book, if I'm remembering right, it came out shortly after X-Men number 150, which was the issue that revealed that Magneto was a Holocaust survivor.
Oh.
Yes.
So it really kind of, like, coming out right after that, it was just like, Chris was really hitting some hard topics.
That's crazy. And to think too, like, just of him making all this stuff that, like, it's just how X-Men how we know it, right? Like that being Magneto's origin and how Stryker is of like I was this the first time we ever got to see Stryker's origin as well? Like origin in the sense of like why he hates the mutants? Because it goes into detail.
Well, yeah, this book was his first appearance.
That's why.
Oh.
Yeah,
It
I was
was,
gonna say
okay.
he
See, I thought Stryker would have been
definitely
around before, but that's that.
No, this
no,
is his
because they
first.
did all the stuff with a lot of the stuff with Stryker and Wolverine in the early '90s.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't realize this was the first appearance of Stryker, so that's cool.
yeah, this is the
Very
first
cool.
appearance.
Very
Yeah, a lot
cool.
of
Yeah, because it threw me off because the Stryker later is he's the same man but a different
Yeah,
person.
definitely different. Yes.
You know.
Yeah, that I didn't realize. That's cool. Very cool.
yeah, lots of themes of bigotry in this story.
Yeah, the way it opens is very. If you are squeamish, you might have trouble reading this.
I could see that.
I could
Yeah.
see someone being squeamish having trouble reading. It's very, very heavy
Yeah.
on the topics. I mean, and but I do love the way that it feels like feels like a movie you've seen before. Like you said, it's loosely like X2 loosely based on it. It's got a lot of those spy movie elements to it because spy movies were huge back then, especially in the spy shows and everything, all the spy serials that were going on. So I see he really utilized the fake deaths and everything, like the fake bodies and all that stuff. It felt very, very of the time, but very also timeless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Yeah, it was just a really like good story though. I was like and part of what definitely makes it though is just like what you were saying earlier, like the time that we chose to read this, it's kind of crazy. Man, like just trying to see here.
Is this the first time we meet Ileana as
See,
well
it
in the
feels like
comics?
she would have already been established, right? Because they would have had to bring her in a previous issue because she's just there.
No, she came in. Her first appearance was Giant Size X-Men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, as Ileana. Like, she didn't become magic.
Oh, she didn't become magic for a little bit.
Yeah, she didn't become magic until.
Well, and they kind of reference that she's gonna become something in this because they're like she seems to have these weird human and mutant readings, but we can't tell what she is. The Reverend's definitely gonna want to study this, So like that like they foreshadow her a bit in this, which is cool. That was cool to see.
Definitely.
What did we think about? First of all, it's interesting. I didn't realize that Kitty Pryde's hero name was what, Ariel or something?
Yeah, for a while it was. Did you also, like, before reading this, did you know that Kitty Pryde was Jewish?
No,
I don't
that's
think I
true.
did. I don't think I did.
That's true. I think I don't think they.
That's an interesting thing.
Because there's that scene in the book where you see her wearing the Star of David.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like, I mean, she could be.
It's all these things these little details that Claremont adds, to make it really, when you notice them, the message, like you say, did you know Kitty Pryde was Jewish? And you have Magneto. Why wasn't maybe there's this stronger connection between Magneto and Kitty Pryde? But in the end, it's interesting. It's going to sound weird. And the new Jew and the old Jew, you know, have different views on how to change the world.
Well, you got to keep in mind, Kitty Pryde did not go through the Holocaust.
Exactly. Well, that's part of it too.
I mean,
yes.
It's all a matter of perspective. Like their views are going to be different because he went through some shit. She didn't.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of times, you know, based on your but it's funny because if she wasn't a mutant, but she was in a Jewish family, she probably would feel the same way a little bit as Magneto because it would be more ingrained in her from her family and her heritage. But because she was shunned being a mutant, and kind of cast out from her family, as most mutants are, then, you know, it's an interesting, you know, I bring that up. It's interesting, you know, a lot of people with rare diseases feel like they're abandoned by their families and shunned by their families. So, and then because of that, it changes their perspective on the world and changes their perspective on what needs to change and what should change. If I didn't have a rare disease, I would be just going on with life, you know, not thinking about, I'd be donating money to causes and stuff like that, working a normal job and all, you know, but having a rare disease, it makes you realize, and we did an interview with a healthcare worker. She's an eye technician. And check out Gabby's interview. It's amazing. Amazing. She says when she got diagnosed, because she only recently got diagnosed, she's one of those people that was like 6 months ago with an autoinflammatory disease, like not maybe a little, about 6 months ago. And she says it changed her whole perspective on what some of her patients who have autoinflammatory diseases go through, you know? And so this is, I think for someone like Kitty Pryde, even though you say, yeah, she didn't grow up in the Holocaust, I think, though, being different also made her change her, and it's a combination, you know, because if I think if she was just Homo sapien, not Homo superior, then she would probably have the same ingredient. And who knows, maybe she would be a mutie hater too. You know, she wouldn't be a mutie hater though. You know what I mean? Like she would be on the side of humans. She would be like that cop that shot the mutie haters, you know, and the people trying to kill and stopping all those, the mob and everything. That would be her, but she would also have this hatred towards certain kinds of people like Magneto does. But Magneto has that extra step because he's Homo superior. So he has a hatred not just for Nazis, but also for the humans that they were. And so I think a lot of people with rare conditions learn to who live now are in a lot better place like me. I'm not gonna lie, I have a lot of resentment for the healthcare system, for, you know, how I was treated in my early adulthood, you know, how I can still be treated by people. I'm a little jaded, but the reason I do these events and raise this money and help spread awareness is so that newer generation doesn't feel as jaded. Like, it's like, I feel like we're Xavier's school and they're our students, you know, and we're trying to teach them to look at the world in a better place and not hate it because of their rare disease, but to embrace it, that they have a superpower, you know? That they are more resilient and they can handle things better because of their illness and not despite it.
Yeah. Indeed. You know, I'm not quite sure how to follow up on that. You know, that's
well, why don't we cover like what happens in the comic?
That
might help.
That's good. There's two big things with the messages, sort of, or themes that get. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. That goes on with the inside this, you know, and we've covered a good bit and how it kind of relates with you with the sort of discrimination aspect, right, with the mutants and all that. But then even though I'm not a big biblical person myself, I always find interesting of the relations or the stories that implement those biblical aspects in interesting ways, and this story also did that as well, specifically with Stryker, and you see him at one point, and you know, he's constantly quoting the Holy Bible as well, and you see him this panel right here, you know, going through it right there. So but that was just another part of the comic I found interesting. But yeah, as far as what actually happens, I mean, we already talked about the beginning. We see Stryker, and we're introduced to the team. You know, very much works as just a story. If you've never, you know, I mean, not necessarily never read X-Men, but you know, it's very easy to just be introduced to this and not necessarily have to read anything else, which I think was really good.
Yeah.
And so we see that our main team of X-Men here is Cyclops, Storm, Wolverine, Colossus, Ariel, as we just discussed, Kitty Pryde, and Nightcrawler there. So seeing, but yeah, just we got to see more of their lives out and about as they go around. So we saw them train more, and you know, danger room is, you got to have the danger room as you see them together. But then the whole reason they were in the danger room was because they were doing this special TV broadcast between Stryker and Xavier. But here we can even see, though, is like, we can see it was one-sided, you know, and the people that were working it down here, they weren't necessarily making the fair cuts, and so that pissed off the X-Men, so they went to go train. And while that was happening, this staged quote-unquote accident happened to make Xavier and Storm appear as if they were dead. Was there somebody else with them? Yeah, no, there's somebody else. Cyclops is the other person. That's right.
Yep.
Cyclops, and so make it look like they were dead. So Stryker takes them. See here. So yeah, they think they're dead. What else we got here? Wolverine finds out that they're not really dead, you know. Yep. What's up?
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah. I'm just scrolling through it here to see what there is. We got Magneto then teams up with them for a bit.
He teams up with them and then the whatchamacallits invade the mansion, the Proud Boys. Purifiers.
But no, what's interesting, I want to quickly say, while my dog is barking in the background like an asshole, the quickly before we move on to what you were going to say is the Magneto thing. Working with Magneto, I'm like, I'm getting very heavy X-Men 97 vibes here.
Yeah, that happened a bit there too.
Yeah. But yeah, they break in and they kidnap Kitty and Alana.
Yep. Yes, that happened.
And then one of them.
Kitty doesn't get captured; she just narrowly escapes.
Oh,
but Alana does get captured, and that's where we get that sort of what Chris was mentioning earlier. Not full mutant readings, but like part human, part mutant sort of readings.
Yeah, and then Magneto. Some of the Purifiers get captured.
Yeah.
And then that's when Magneto tortures one of them, and
right here we see it right there.
Yeah.
So Yeah, it was really good.
And that's when we find out their connection to Stryker.
Yeah, to Stryker. This vision sort of bit of like what they're doing with Xavier is interesting, and like these pages were really interesting. I thought having Xavier up on the cross there, and you see like these vampire like sort of versions of the X-Men, like it's crazy. Seeing all that go through, and I really like the connections and all that there.
Yeah,
specifically.
then and realizing that because you obviously know right away that it's some sort of like hallucination, dream, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But what you don't realize is that they're like that's actually their consciousnesses in Xavier's conscious because of his telepathic abilities.
Yeah.
And they're all in the same room, just in different machines. And so they're really there thinking that, like, not being able to control themselves. And he's thinking that they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Indeed. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
Like just
the artwork too. Like go back to the last page and go that second to last panel with Wolverine's face. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, their faces here. Like,
yeah.
Look at that.
Oh my god, that's awesome. And the Colossus even looks crazy.
Yeah.
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 So, but yeah, that was really cool. We're learning like what they're exactly doing with Xavier, trying to channel his psychic ability, and while also torturing Storm and Cyclops.
Yeah.
You know, Stryker's just a dick, guys. What
he always has been.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you hear his backstory. I like how they changed the coloring and everything.
Yeah. I really like the sort of black and white-esque backstory.
Man, and here we really see he's a bad person. Snapping the neck. And, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Snaps his own wife's neck.
Because
she birthed the mutie.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is not the greatest human being out
He's got a few screws loose. Just a few.
It's another one of those things where it's like, I don't know if Marvel would let something like this happen nowadays, you know?
No way.
Just like at the beginning there. And it's important to say at the very beginning of this, they do say this previously published content.
Yeah. They have the disclaimer at the beginning.
The stereotypes are wrong then and are wrong now. Social change is a journey and we must acknowledge where we've come from to build a more inclusive future.
That's cool.
But you know what? Good on them to just not outright have the story out there. You know, it's good. Made available. So
it is, like I said, if you're squeamish, it might be hard to read this.
Yeah,
it might.
Yeah.
There's a lot of heavy. To keep using an '80s term, there's a lot of heavy topics in this. Heavy.
Yeah.
Not just one, multiple heavy topics, and that's what. I had a conversation with someone yesterday. Didn't agree on my mentality of how we need to bring about change. And they kept saying to me, you're not going to change it. It's not going to change. I'm like, well, if you have that mentality and you don't learn from the past to change the future, it's never going to change.
Yeah.
And so this comic right here, I'm sure because there were a lot of social topics going on back then. Like you said, this X-Men was woke before woke was a thing. And I bet you a lot of people reading this back then, it made them stop and think about how they treated people.
Yeah.
For sure.
I would hope.
I would hope so. So, and, there's a lot of references in this book where characters feel like they're not seen, like they're not important. Like Kitty Pryde has a lot of self-doubt, and so does and of course Ileana, not being magic yet, she's all like I don't really have powers, like I'm gonna just like, what are we doing? Is this like, are you sure this like self-doubt, and that happens with people with rare diseases, and so it's really. And it happens with a lot of people who feel isolated. And that's what the X-Men comics tried to do, is help. I think part of it was they knew that nerds are sometimes isolationists, and they feel isolated and they're loners. And so a lot of these comics, I think, are messages to teach you that, there are people out there for you, like-minded people, like people who go through the same thing you do. And so you got to stick together. And if one person comes along or a group of people come along and try and bring you down, use your pain against you, essentially, then you band together, anything is possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we have a Mr. Retro in the chat saying,
Hey,
"What the
what's
hell is
up,
a dingus?"
Oh boy. Oh boy.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I got a show.
Oh,
No,
hold
good,
on,
really,
I'm gonna
really.
get it right now.
Oh, ew. Or two noises there.
Uh-oh, Disney's gonna shut us down.
Ruh-roh. All right. Yeah. Oh,
So yeah, really good story.
yes, it is.
Not one that you hear a lot of people talking about. It's not, when you hear X-Men stories, Dark Phoenix always comes up. But it's not one that you hear coming up very often. But
yeah, I'd never heard of it, and I am a big X-Men fan.
Yeah, so
and obviously the reason for is it came out the year I was born. You know what I mean? So
but
a little older.
Yeah,
and I'm more of a '90s X-Men guy.
Understand? Yeah, the very first X-Men comic book. Well, actually, the very first comic book. Period. That I ever owned was X-Men number 169.
Giggity.
Which came out in February of 83. February 83.
Wow. Awesome.
Gosh,
you're old.
Yeah, I am.
You're old.
But even then, I had not read this comic book way back when. It was just, I didn't read this until just a few years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, it's huge X-Men fan, and it's probably one of my favorite story arcs of the X-Men. I would go so far as to say that I like this more than I like the Dark Phoenix saga.
I certainly like it more than Phoenix Saga. I haven't quite gotten to. I read Dark Phoenix Saga a while ago, but I don't remember a lot about it. So
it's a fine story. I personally, and folks out there, you can disagree if you want. That's fine. I think it's incredibly overrated.
See, that's the thing is, I believe, if I remember right, Dark Phoenix came out in that time when I was starting to get into heavily reading comics then. And so that's the whole reason why I went to go read Dark Phoenix was because of the movie. And so I was like, let me read the stories from, I know this movie's probably not going to be good, but let me read this.
Shit, the movie wasn't good. What the hell?
The animated version. The cartoon was
that was good.
decent.
That was good. It's the best on-screen version we have.
Yes.
Oh, well,
yes.
that part's for sure.
Yes.
But yeah, point is though is I remember even back then, even when I was starting to get into several of the big comic stories, that's not one that really blew me away necessarily, unlike other stuff. So
yeah, that one didn't do a whole lot for me, but yeah, this is a really good one, and like Chris said, it's not for the faint of heart. It deals with some very sensitive and rough issues, but
yeah, I
but
think
that's what the X-Men are about. I mean, it's not
true. That's
true.
They're not here to play nice.
No.
Yeah, I think it definitely highlights that, because of just how all those themes is weaved into the story is what makes this a really special story. And I think the fact that with this story only being like 60 something pages long and being able to tell such a great story is a great accomplishment within itself. You know, and especially compared to how we're used to consuming just comic media, I guess nowadays, with you know, we don't really get to see, or even this sort of special as they have it the graphic novel that they have. We don't even really see Marvel do anything like this anymore. I guess really not from DC either, you know, like just to be like, we don't really get stuff like this anymore.
No.
So, and these were a special thing, as this was the 5th one they did. It was part of a series of like Marvel original graphic novels, and this was the 5th one that came out. So, but yeah, I'm really glad that this was a story that you ended up picking out, though, as
Agreed.
recommending. And just
yeah, like I was saying, I was trying to think of one that not a whole lot of people knew about. I wasn't even really thinking of the content. It hit me when I was reading the synopsis this morning. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth reading. Great thing about Marvel Unlimited is you could easily check out this original version. They also came out with an extended version. I don't quite know what's in the extended version. I know it adds a few pages and you get some background stuff there at the end. But we just read the original version or special edition as they call it, but it's the original one of what they did here. And so, I believe there's some trades that collect this as well. Part of Marvel's Uncanny X-Men Epic collections. One of them, I believe, is called God Loves Man Kills. But that also comes with several other issues. Here, actually, let's
now, are they issues, I wonder, that kind of tie it together with
more tie into what in the world? My OBS is being weird. Anyway, let me look. God Loves Man Kills. It is this one right here I'm thinking of. It includes 168 through 175. There's a Marvel graphic novel itself, in addition to the annual, and then Wolverine's 1 through 4, which I assume that's also the original X-Men, or not X-Men, Wolverine series he did, right? Wasn't that in 1982 that Claremont wrote?
Yeah, sounds about right.
So that's cool. Like, this is a really good bang for your buck. And right now, Marvel has it, or no, Amazon has it on sale for almost half off. So if it wasn't for me saving for this weekend of the convention,
you might pick it up.
I would pick this up. What I will do is I'll add this to that. So
there you go. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. Look, it includes the first comic Steve ever read.
Which one did you say it was?
169.
169, yeah.
Oh, there it is, because it begins at 168. So.
Interesting to include in this collection, because 169 is the first appearance of the Morlocks.
Oh.
Who, the X-Men are already kind of the scum of society, and then you've got the Morlocks, who are the scum of the scum of society.
Scum on the scum.
Yeah.
Very cool.
This is crazy. And then that's funny too, because we kind of got the Morlocks in Last Stand.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Right. Indeed. But yeah, this was just a great read, though.
Yeah, it was.
That's for sure. See, everything's out of whack here. Something happened with my OBS where everything's just not all as it should. There we go.
Was it user error?
That time it was. Before there was something weird going on. I don't quite know what happened there.
Interesting. Yeah, OBS has been acting weird on the newer updates. It really has. So, but that's not why we're here. We're here because we were talking about X-Men God Loves Man Kills, because it is Rare Disease Day Streamathon weekend. We're started the party today here at the Dingus Den, and we will be taking it over to Red Shirts Remastered in a little bit.
Yes, indeed. Well, I don't think we have too much else here to really say. I'm trying to figure out.
No, I would highly suggest reading this if you
Yes,
haven't
agreed.
already. But again, it is dealing with some very sensitive issues. So if you don't want that in your comic books, go read something else.
Yeah, if you like the more fluffy, like not there's that 80s word again, heavy topic comic books, yeah, don't read this one.
Yeah, go read. I don't know. I Hate Fairyland by Scotty Young.
There you go.
Which is still a good book. I'm just saying.
I was gonna suggest some Squirrel Girl,
There you go. Or go find yourself a copy of Adolescent Radioactive.
Yes! Yeah, there we go. The original.
Yes.
Or the remake, because then you get the added of Arnold Schwarzenegger's all the inspired from the 90s era. Yeah, it's great. Love it. I think my favorite would be probably Chuck, because he's named after Chuck Norris,
Fair.
Oh boy.
It's crazy.
Hilarious.
All right, I think did I?
So no show next week, right?
No show next week,
Okay.
and the week after it's 2 weeks away, so we'll figure it out before then.
Okay.
We haven't really talked about much. I have kept a document up of everything we've mentioned about maybe doing to always refer back to if we need ideas. But in all ways, if anybody has any ideas for us, there's an endless supply of comics and whatnot. Like there's number one rule of comics is that you can never read all of it, because there's just so much.
Yeah.
So
the newest episode of the Batcave should be popping up on the Rebel Nerd YouTube channel sometime this week.
Awesome.
We on that issue or on that episode we talked about Batman Hush.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then this Tuesday we have our live stream on Rebel Nerd Radio, and we have a mystery topic.
Ooh.
Oh.
Surprise!
Who knows?
It will be a surprise episode. So you will have to tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern and open the present.
Open the present.
Whoa. Is it that thing that they talk about on Saturday Night Live sometimes in a box?
No, not that one. No, it's just going to be a very fun episode. I think everybody will have some fun and a lot of laughs, and yeah, you'll just have to find out what it is when we go live.
It's not a dick in a box, guys.
It's not.
It's not a dick in a box.
It's not.
Promises. Oh, there we go.
But it is a very. It will be a very fun episode.
Howard the Duck, right?
What?
Not Howard the Duck?
We are eventually going to do a Howard the Duck episode.
Good.
Jeff the Land Shark?
Jeff. There we go. It's Jeff. Jeff, next time.
No, not just a Jeff episode.
Hit Monkey?
Well, there's so much stuff to cover, so we'll figure out something. But we've been streaming for over 2 hours now. Definitely our longest comic in yet. It's all Chris's fault.
Yep,
as everything always is.
Yeah, it's because I got Steve talking about sports.
Yeah.
Well, it was probably because you got me talking about the hamsters.
Yes, that's true. Whoa, hamsters. Steve likes hamsters.
We were talking yesterday on the streamathon about what Marvel and DC crossover we'd want.
Oh yeah.
And
so yeah, let's get yours. Yeah.
And Matthew reminds us of a great one we got yesterday, which was Howard the Duck and Weasel.
Yes.
As a possible Marvel and DC crossover, because as we talked about last week, there's big news that Marvel and DC is crossing over again. So what would your crossover that you'd want to see happen? What's funny is the first one I came up with was Guardians and the Challengers of the Unknown.
That's a good one. I like that one.
favorite date.
Yes, Doctor Strange and Doctor Fate.
Doctor.
What's going on? Why?
Off the top of my head, I'm thinking Green Lantern versus Silver Surfer.
Oh,
I like
there
it.
you go. That's a good one. How about Wolverine and Harley Quinn?
Batman and the Punisher.
That's one they've done, isn't it?
I'm sure they have.
Yeah, we talked about that. I think that's one they've done. Batman's like done crossovers with so many characters. It's crazy.
Why is that?
What's the matter?
Sync the stream can't hear you. I don't know why. It's an OBS issue. Don't.
Oh, okay.
OBS is being really weird today. Like your thing isn't showing on my.
Hope his thing's not showing.
Giggity!
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
just me?
Yeah, it's just you've been freezing on my OBS, and so I refresh it, and now your audio thing's not here, even though it's part of it.
What the hell?
Yeah.
So it's not just my OBS and video, it's other people's OBS and video that aren't playing nice.
I've never had it be weird like this, and it's only yours.
That's so odd.
Patrick is saying he can hear everybody fine, so as long as you can hear Chris still, because on my end it's showing that Chris isn't heard, which is weird because I'm not even getting an audio bar or anything for him.
But he can hear. But Patrick, you can hear me. If you can hear me, Patrick, say something in the chat.
But regardless, though, we are about done. But yes,
Yeah.
I do want to know if you can hear Chris, as he will lead us and charge us to what's coming next.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, as we do wait for his response, anybody that hasn't already, be sure to like, subscribe. I meant to do this all the way earlier and I forgot.
Yeah.
No freezing and great audio on all three of you. See, that's weird because I see it.
What the heck?
Because I see it frozen on him freezing on my YouTube. Because I see him frozen right now. So I don't know.
Maybe refresh your YouTube.
See, I don't think that's how it works. Yeah,
I
no,
don't know either.
Like
I don't
that.
know. I don't know what's going on.
But like I said, it's only you. So
yeah,
something's going on with you. No, but as long as I can hear you,
maybe I'll go read. Yeah.
Let's and we've already covered everywhere where you can find Steve at over on Rebel Nerd Radio. Link in description, as well as Richard's from Master link in description. Can you get it? See, yeah. You see you frozen now. Then when it's
but
like
you can hear me.
You. Oh, now you're not frozen.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's weird, but we hear him frying.
It's video then. It's got to be video.
Yeah, but like I said, it's only happening with you. So
yeah.
All right. Anyway,
maybe it's something to do with my media settings for my like auto gain and stuff.
Well, like I said, it's your camera that's freezing. They've been able to hear you the entire time, which is good. I'm glad they've been able to hear you.
That's all that matters.
And it's just the video. So
yeah, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why he got unfrozen or anything.
And it was doing weird stuff for me.
So, but anyway, regardless, we're pretty much done with this. Can you put the link in the chat, Chris, of
for the
what's
next
happening?
Stream?
Yes. Yes. In the meantime, be sure to check out me and Chris's episodes of Shell Talk, where we're 2 episodes in on Shell Talk now. Where we're going to be continuing on, hopefully within a couple weeks. If it wasn't for a convention this Saturday, we'd be talking about it more.
Yep.
Or heck, maybe we would even record more this weekend if it wasn't for the big streamathon going on. So
yes.
So be sure to stay tuned we'll try to do Shell Talk when we can. Because at the very least, our idea is that we don't at the very least want to do it bi-weekly. But stuff has been getting in the way.
Yep, and
for both of us.
Health.
Life happens.
Life gets in the way.
Life finds a way as
to fuck us over.
Well, I don't remember that being part of the line, but that's very true. The first very true. But be sure, for everybody in the chat, be sure to follow that link. But before you do follow that link, be sure to share around that charity link that is up pinned over there in the comments, wherever it is, depending on where you're watching.
I need to change
and be
the
sure.
title of that. No, the title of today's stream is So Close. Now I can change it to We Made It.
And be sure to, as we see here, this stream has tipped us over the goal. So thank you very much. Got an anonymous donation. Patrick, Steve, thank you also very much. Really appreciate it. And the party will continue shortly over on Retro Stream Mastery. Thank you so much, everybody.
Later.
Peace, everybody. Bye.
Bye.